My parents grounded me, took my phone, and told me they were disappointed in me. All because of a lie my sister told, and they didn't even question it. I still remember that moment like it just happened. Not because of what she said, but because of how fast they believed her. Up until that day, things between me and my sister Emily weren't perfect, but they weren't terrible either. She's 2 years younger than me, and like most siblings, we argued over stupid stuff. Chargers, food, who got control of the TV? Normal things. Nothing that would make you think one of us would try to destroy the other. But Emily had always been good at one thing, getting people to believe her. She had this way of talking to my parents. Soft voice, teary eyes, like she was always just seconds away from being hurt. And my parents? They fell for it every time. Still, I never thought she'd use that against me like this. It was a normal afternoon. I got home from school, dropped my backpack in my room, and went to make something to eat. The house was quiet. Everything felt normal. Then I heard it. "Mom?" Emily's voice, loud, panicked. Footsteps rushed down the hallway. "What's wrong?" my mom called. I don't know where it went," Emily said, her voice shaking. I stepped into the hallway. "What happened?" Emily was standing in her doorway, eyes wide like something serious had just happened. "My money," she said. "The cash Dad gave me for my birthday, it's gone." My mom was already next to her. "What do you mean it's gone?" "It was in my drawer," Emily said quickly. "I checked this morning. Now it's just gone." Something felt off immediately. "Did you move it?" I asked. "Or spend it?" She turned and looked straight at me, not confused, not unsure, direct. "No," she said. Then after a pause, quieter, "But you were in my room earlier." I blinked. "What?" "No, I wasn't." "Yes, you were," she said instantly, like she'd been waiting to say it. "I came out and you were walking down the hall." "That doesn't mean I was in your room," I said. "I literally just got home." You've been in my room before," she cut in, her voice cracking just enough to sound real. "You always go in there when I'm not around." "That's not true," I said. "Why would I take your money?" "I don't know," she said, and now her eyes were filling with tears. "But it's gone, and you're the only one who would have taken it." I looked at my mom, waiting for her to step in, to question it, to do anything. But her expression had already changed. That look, like she'd already decided. "Did you take it?" she asked me. "What?" "No," I said immediately. "Of course not." "Then how do you explain what Emily's saying?" "I don't know, because it's not true," I said, my voice rising. "You're just going to take her word for it?" "She has no reason to lie," my mom said. I actually laughed, short, disbelieving. "Are you serious right now? You're not even going to hear me out?" Emily sniffed, wiping her eyes, not even looking at me anymore. And that's when it hit me. They weren't questioning her. They weren't even considering she could be wrong. They had already decided. And no matter what I said next, it wasn't going to matter. I didn't even get a chance to explain myself. That was the worst part. It wasn't like they listened and then decided I was lying. They skipped straight to the part where I was already guilty. "Go to your room," my mom said. Not calm. Not, "We'll talk about this." Sharp. Final. I stood there for a second, waiting for something else. Anything that sounded like a conversation, but there was nothing. So I went. About 10 minutes later, my dad got home. I could hear everything from upstairs. My mom explaining it, Emily crying, saying her money was gone, then my dad's voice. "I trusted you." That hit harder than anything else. Not anger, not yelling. Disappointment. Like I'd already failed him. He came up to my room a minute later and opened the door without knocking. "Where is it?" he asked. "No. Did you do it?" No hesitation. Just where is it? "I didn't take it," I said. "I swear." He shook his head slightly like he'd already heard enough. "If you took it, just say it now," he said. "It'll be a lot worse if you keep lying." "I'm not lying," I said. "I didn't take anything." There was a pause. Then he sighed. "You're grounded. Phone's gone. No going out. No friends. Until that money shows up, you're not leaving this house except for school." And just like that, it was over. No investigation, no questions, just a decision. I sat there for a minute, trying to process it, then grabbed my phone and went downstairs. My mom took it without even looking at me. Emily was on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, like she was the one who'd just been through something traumatic. For a second, she looked at me, and something about that look didn't sit right. It wasn't sad, it wasn't scared, it was calm. Too calm. The next few days were miserable. No phone meant I couldn't even explain anything to my friends. At school, people were already acting weird. Not everyone, but enough. A couple people asked if I was okay, but I could tell they didn't really believe me when I said I was. I started hearing things. "I heard you stole from your sister." "Dude, what happened?" And every time I tried to explain, it just sounded weaker than the story they'd already heard. At home, it was worse. My parents barely talked to me. And Emily? She was off. Sometimes she'd act overly nice, like asking if I wanted anything from the kitchen or trying to start random conversations. Other times, she'd avoid me completely. But every once in a while, I'd catch her watching me. Not guilty, not nervous, just watching. That's when something shifted. At first I thought this was all just a misunderstanding, but the more I paid attention, the less it felt like an accident. It felt planned. So I started watching her. Not obvious, just paying attention. And little things started adding up. Her story kept changing. First she said she checked the drawer that morning. Later she told my mom she hadn't checked in a couple of days. Another time she said she just knew it had been there. Small changes, but they didn't line up. Then there was her behavior. She wasn't acting like someone who had just had money stolen. No stress, no searching, no asking if anyone had seen it. Instead, she was in a good mood, laughing more, talking more, like nothing had happened. And every time I saw that, it made my stomach twist. Then one night, everything changed. I was walking past her room when I heard her talking. Quiet, like she didn't want anyone else to hear. I slowed down just enough to catch it. "Yeah, they believed every word," she said. I froze. He didn't even have a chance. My heart started pounding. I stepped closer to the door. "I told you they would," she said. "They always take my side." I backed away instantly, like I'd get caught just by standing there. My mind was racing. That wasn't panic. That wasn't stress. That was confidence. Like she knew exactly what she was doing. And that's when it hit me. If she planned this, there had to be proof somewhere. And if there was, I knew exactly where it would be. Her phone. The next day I paid even closer attention. She never left it anywhere now, always in her hand, always face down, locked instantly if anyone walked by. That told me everything I needed to know. If there was proof, it was on that phone. A few days later, I got my chance. My mom asked Emily to help bring in groceries. I was in the kitchen when they came in. Emily set her phone on the counter without thinking and went back out. I stared at it. This was it. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it. I knew this was risky. If I got caught, it would just make everything worse. But at that point, what did I have to lose? I grabbed the phone. Locked. Of course. I tried the passcode once. Nothing. Again. Nothing. I was about to put it back. Then the screen lit up. A notification. From a name I didn't recognize. And the preview message showed just enough. Did they actually fall for it? My stomach dropped. I tapped it. And everything changed. The message opened. It wasn't just one text. It was a full conversation. Emily and someone named Kayla. I started scrolling, barely breathing. Did they actually fall for it? Was the newest one? Emily had replied, yeah, they didn't even question it. My hands started shaking. I kept reading. I told you they would, she wrote. They always take my side. Then another message. I just needed a reason so they'd stop trusting him for a while. I froze. Stop trusting him? This wasn't about the money. This wasn't random. This was intentional. I scrolled faster. There were messages about planning it, about waiting until I got home so it would line up, about making sure she sounded upset enough. And then I saw it. I can't have them finding out what I did, Emily wrote. Kayla replied, so you're just going to pin it on him? Emily's response was simple. I have to. Everything clicked. This wasn't about me. I was just convenient, a distraction, someone to take the fall. I heard the door open, footsteps coming back inside. I locked the phone, set it back exactly where it was, and stepped away just as Emily walked in. She grabbed her phone without even looking at me. For a second, I thought she might notice, but she didn't. She just walked past me. That night I couldn't sleep. I had proof. Real proof. But then doubt crept in. What if they still didn't believe me? What if she twisted it? I needed to do this right. I needed a moment where there was no escape. Dinner. That was the only time we were all in one place. So I waited. That night, we sat at the table in silence, tension hanging in the air. My dad scrolling on his phone, my mom picking at her food, Emily acting like everything was normal. I took a breath. I didn't take your money, I said. My mom looked up immediately. We've already been over this. No, I said. You haven't, because you never actually listened. My dad set his phone down. Enough. Yes, we are, I said, because I know why she said I did it. Emily froze. Just for a second. But I saw it. What are you talking about? My mom asked. I looked at Emily. Tell them, I said. I don't know what you're talking about, she said quickly. Then I will. I pulled out my phone and opened the screenshots. I slid it across the table. Read it. My dad picked it up. His eyes moved across the screen. Confusion, then realization. My mom leaned in. The room went completely silent. Where did you get this? My dad asked. It doesn't matter, I said. Just read it. Emily's face had gone pale. That's not, she started, but her voice broke. It's not what it looks like, but it was exactly what it looked like. Emily, my mom said. What is this? Silence. Then everything fell apart. I didn't mean for it to go this far, Emily said quickly. I just needed them to stop looking at my stuff. For what? My mom asked. A pause. Then, I took money from your purse last week, she said quietly. I thought you'd check my room, so I needed something else to happen. The room went still. You let us believe he did it, my mom said. You let us punish him. I didn't think it would get that bad, Emily said, crying now. My dad stood up slightly. And you knew he didn't do it. She didn't answer. She just cried. Then my mom looked at me. Really looked at me. For the first time since all of this started. Why didn't you say something sooner? She asked. I almost laughed, but it came out tired. I tried, I said. You just didn't listen. The next few days were strange. My parents apologized, more than once. They gave me my phone back, lifted the punishment, tried to act like things could go back to normal, but it didn't feel normal. Because, yeah, the punishment was gone, but the damage wasn't. Every time I looked at them, I kept thinking about how fast it happened, how easy it was for them to believe I'd do something like that. No questions, no hesitation, just done. And Emily? She barely talked to me anymore. The house felt different, quieter, colder. Like something had shifted and never fully went back. I proved I was innocent. I had the evidence. I cleared my name. But every time I looked at them, I kept thinking about how fast they believed I could do something like that. And the worst part? I don't think that feeling ever really goes away. Being blamed is one thing, but not being believed by the people who are supposed to trust you the most, that's a different kind of damage. So what do you think? Did his parents just make a mistake, or did they break something that can't be fixed? And if you were him, would you forgive them, or would that trust be gone for good? Let me know what you think.